Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and you're watching an episode of Who Is, the show where we delve into the lore and backstory of your favourite characters from films, video games and books. The show has returned and this is the second episode of season 3, so if you want to check out episode 1, which is on Captain Marvel, you can check out the series playlist on the channel. In this episode we'll be delving deeper into the story of Darth Bane, the legendary Lord of the Sith. In this episode we will cover the Star Wars Legends version of Bane, and I will cover the canon version of Bane in another episode. A Dark Lord of the Sith born under a different name as Dressel, Darth Bane was an individual that hailed from the planet Apatros, who would eventually take the mantle of the Sithari, an ancient title similar to the Jedi's Chosen One, but for the Sith. Bane was most notable for being the originator of the Rule of Two, a doctrine designed for Sith in which there could only be two enacting Sith at one time, a master and an apprentice, with the only way of entry being for an apprentice to become powerful enough to defeat their master before adopting a new apprentice, until the cycle would continue. Bane was born in the year 1026 BBY on the planet Apatros. Although he would later become more powerful than he could imagine, he started out as a poor miner on his planet and his life was hard. In fact, he even had faced arrest by the Republic themselves. But Dressel, as he was once called at this time, did not want to face arrest at the hands of the Republic, and thus decided to escape off-world, being assisted by a Neimoidian friend called Groshik. His goal at this stage was to seek out the Sith Brotherhood of Darkness off-world, a faction that had a strong presence on multiple planets and one he wished to join. But within the Sith was a Sith army, just like the Republic army in the Sith Wars. Bane had been initially recognised as being force sensitive and having more potential than just being such a simple soldier, and because of this, journeyed to Korriban to seek out the Sith Academy to become an initiate. Within the academy, after some time, Bane, as he was now known, had become one of the fastest of the learners within the school. But as time would go on, Bane's faith within the dark side of the Force would waver, and especially his trust and confidence within the Brotherhood of Darkness, an organisation which he deemed to be weak due to its leader, Scary Khan, whom he claimed was a fool and a cowardly man. Bane decided his time as part of the organisation had reached an end. He had no further interest in being part of a brotherhood and decided to become a deserter, leaving his current planet and journeying to Leon, a tropical secret world, also known as Rakata Prime, the secret world and heart to the Rakata's infinite empire. Bane gained a deep interest in a Sith Holocron, more specifically one known as the Holocron of Darth Revan, an individual who had been in both a Sith and a Jedi with deep roots to the dark side of the Force. Bane gained vast knowledge from this Holocron, and used it to become powerful enough to put an end to the Brotherhood of Darkness, in which he had previously left. After helping to put a stop to the Brotherhood with help, he created his own Sith Order to take its place, but with his own new ideals, one of them being the Rule of Two, a Sith law he personally founded that meant only two Sith could exist at one time, mainly to prevent the civil war between the Sith that had been seen in the past, and something that had had a negative effect on the Sith for over a millennia. This is the point in time in which Bane would take on the mantle of Darth as a new title, and the new leader of the Sith. Darth Bane would seek out his own apprentice, Darth Zannah, a human apprentice and previous Jedi who originated from Somov Rit, a deep green world planet with a large population. Later down the road in the year 990 BBY, which was some 10 years after the events of the destruction of the Brotherhood of Darkness, Darth Bane decided he wanted to gather all of his knowledge and findings throughout his life as a Sith and pass them down to the future generations, those whom he would hope would be part of his Sith Order, and those who would hopefully maintain and be a part of his rule of two generations of Sith. In order to do this, he decided to create his own holocron as a foundation of his knowledge, but to do this, he journeyed to Tython with his apprentice. Tython was a deep core planet that was home to the Jedi Order and the Tython Jedi Temple. Bane had come to seek another Sith holocron, one belonging to Beliar Darzu, an ancient Dark Lord of the Sith during the last quarter of the new Sith Wars. But such a mission of course brought problems. Due to such a strong presence of Jedi on Tython itself, Bane was detected and the Jedi themselves had come to learn of their location on the planet. The temple sent a group of their own Jedi to hunt him down and put an end to both Master and his apprentice. The new Sith were within Darzu's temple when they were ambushed by the Jedi. The Sith of course were outnumbered. For a start, they were on the homeworld of one of the most important Jedi temples and face a seemingly infinite resource of Jedi Knights, and secondly, Bane's rule of 2 had limited them in numbers. Although at such a disadvantage, they swiftly defeated every single one of the Jedi who faced them. But such a feat never comes without cost, as Bane was severely injured during the face-off. His apprentice Zannah sought aid on the desert planet of Ambria, an abandoned world. Upon the planet resided Caleb, a human healer who was living on the world. Zannah convinced Caleb to help her master and to heal him, although Caleb's loyalties lied with others and contacted the Jedi Council about their location. This was a poor choice on Caleb's behalf. Zannah used her dark powers to cause Caleb's assistant to peak to a level of insanity, and she put an end to Caleb for his seeming betrayal. By the time of the Jedi's arrival upon Ambria, both Bane and Zannah were hidden. As the Jedi arrived, they spotted Daravit, a disciple and also a cousin of Zannah, who had followed them to Ambria. The Jedi mistakenly believed Daravit to be the Sith they had been looking for and slew him before leaving the planet. Due to this, they believed the Sith had been destroyed, although they could not have been more wrong. Some 10 years down the road, having still survived and with his new Sith staying strong, Bane had growing doubts on the viability of his apprentice. He believed she was much too weak to overthrow him in the future as his successor, and didn't think she was up to such a task. This caused him to begin to explore other pathways and sink himself deep into research. His findings would cause him to seek out ancient Sith secrets and the study of potentially trying to transfer his life essence to another body, similar to something Palpatine would do many years later through the use of Sith essence transfer. Chasing up his interest further, Bane reached a new destination called Prikith, another world that was mountainous in the deep core region. Here is where Bane would seek out yet another Sith Holocron, one of Darth Andedu, known as the immortal God King of Prikith. As Bane returned from his pilgrimage, he was ambushed by assassins whom had been hired by Caleb's daughter. Bane was eventually captured during this confrontation and taken to another planet called Doan in the Outer Rim, where he was imprisoned and interrogated. Bane would of course escape and reach freedom, but would surprisingly go head to head with his apprentice Zannah, whom, now to his surprise, actually seeked the mantle of Dark Lord and Master for herself, something he had deemed her far too weak to do before. Their fight reached a different outcome. They came to a draw. Bane would escape back to Ambria with another female Sith called Darth Cognus, an assassin and one he planned to initiate into becoming his replacement apprentice if Zannah showed further signs of weakness. But Zannah would come to claim the title which she so desperately sought when they would go face to face once more upon Ambria. There, Bane engaged in a duel of the fates with his apprentice, one that to his surprise ended in his defeat and the claim of the title of Dark Lord by Zannah. But that is not the end of Darth Bane and his influence. Through the Skywalker saga and lore of the later Republic, Bane's Sith Order and rule of 2 would survive, and even cause the defeat of the Jedi at the hands of the Sith, after some 1,000 years of plotting and planning in the shadows. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you like this video, there are much more episodes on this channel. If you want to see future videos or episodes like this, feel free to get the discussion started in the comments below by leaving your feedback and suggestions for future episodes. If you enjoyed the content, please help out the channel by subscribing for weekly Star Wars and Marvel lore, news and gaming content so you don't miss out on another episode, and also so you support the show and the channel and to help it keep going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.